Welcome to the Angmar Archives, a channel interested in the art and artifacts inspired by the works of J.R.R. Tolkien. I'm Julian Manif, and I'm delighted to be joined once again by Adam and Sam. Sam runs the Council of Tolkien page, and Adam runs the Collecting Arda page on Instagram. Links will once again be provided in the description. How have you both been?
Yeah, good.
Good. I've been very busy. As some of you might know, I'm going to grad school, trying to get my master's. So I've been doing a lot of research and a lot of writing and a lot of reading, and I'm very tired.
Hopefully this will be a bit of a nice time off. I suppose something to take your mind away from things. And Sam, how have you been?
Yeah, tired. Just long weekend at work, so it's nice to have something to look forward to.
Absolutely.
Brilliant. Well, there's a lot to talk. And although we did the last one, I suppose we recorded it a month ago, but it was only released maybe a couple of weeks ago. There's actually been a hell of a lot more that we can get our teeth stuck into. So without any further ado, I'll share my screen once again, and we can make a start. Let me just get this going. Do you see this okay?
Yeah.
Perfect. So we thought we'll maybe start with something that's really different this time. And I suppose this is kind of a lead-in into a series of prints, one in particular that we thought might be interesting to have a chat about. So for those that I suppose are aware, Tolkien started writing a sequel to The Lord of the Rings, but after about 13 or 14 pages, he abandoned it. And this is a letter that he sent in 1964, just talking a little bit about that story in response to a question about a sequel.
Yeah, I'll give it a read. So Tolkien himself said, "I did begin a story placed about 100 years after the downfall of Mordor, but it proved both sinister and depressing. Since we are dealing with men, it is inevitable that we should be concerned with the most regrettable feature of their nature, their quick satiety with good. So that these people of Gondor, in times of peace, justice, and prosperity, would become discontented and restless, while the dynasties descended from Aragorn would become just kings and governors like Denethor or worse. I found that even so early, there was an outcrop of revolutionary plots about a center of secret satanistic religion, while Gondorian boys were playing at being orcs and going around doing damage. I could have written a thriller about the plot and its discovery and overthrow, but it would be just that, not worth doing."
Brilliant.
Yeah.
And I suppose this is a print by Alvaro Gonzalez, which was only released, I suppose, a few weeks ago. And it depicts this unfinished sequel, or I suppose an imagined scene of it. And I suppose I wonder what your thoughts on this are. It's an incredibly evocative scene and image.
I mean,
Yeah, it's pretty incredible. It's tricky because you realize, Tolkien himself was like, I really don't think I need to pursue a sequel to this because really it's just it seems, I want to say, rehashing, like, all right, Sauron, he's gone. However, humans are like, oh, well, maybe it wasn't so bad back then. Let's kind of try to let's bring this back in. And we're not satisfied with this new government. And this image is beautiful. It really evokes that cultist sort of line of thinking Tolkien was initially going with. It's a really stunning piece of art. I don't know what you guys might think, but
I think it's a really unique vision of what could have been.
mhm.
You know,
Yeah.
I mean, I think most people agree with Tolkien that it was probably better left untold, because it leaves. I love so many details in his work leave things to the imagination, and I think that's often one of the reasons why we keep coming back, because there's so many mysteries in his work, and this will always be one of them. And I love, in terms of the image itself, I love all the little clues and the little throwbacks that he's put in. Even they look like they're carrying like staffs, look like, you know, you can see obviously the tower in the background. They like kind of look like they resemble that. And they kind of, I don't know if you guys remember in Game of Thrones, the Sons of the Harpy, when they were depicted, they kind of remind me of those guys a little bit with the masks.
That's a good point.
Yeah, so it definitely has that kind of cultist feel. It just, I suspect it would have felt more George R.R. Martin Game of Thronesy than Tolkien, and I think that's probably why Tolkien decided to scrap it, because he never felt the need to tell kind of particularly the political side of things in Lord of the Rings. But the image is stunning.
It's exactly that kind of. There's a very good book called A Sense of Tales Untold, and I think that is one of those. Although most of the untold tales are in the past, this one is, I suppose, the only one in the future from the point of the Lord of the Rings. And there is something amazing about, I suppose, not knowing, but also this kind of glimpse into what could be or what could have been.
Yeah.
I also love the little details and the I suppose the nod to Vildo, of course, and
I was about to say the cat.
And the various crowns scattered on the ground. It's a really evocative image. I'm kind of really amazed when I saw it first. So I thought it'd be really nice to have a look at it and share it with everybody. It's also available as a print from ArtStation, so I'm desperately trying to find a place for it, and I will certainly be ordering it at some point.
One more thing I would say on it is like every age, obviously Middle Earth, the magic has faded a little bit.
Right.
So I think this obviously very much represents kind of the time of man. And I think Tolkien probably suspected that the work would have become a little too allegorical for his liking, which is maybe perhaps another reason why he left it alone, but who knows?
Absolutely. And speaking of kind of that sort of descend or fall from the various ages, from the first age down, these are just a few other images I've pulled together from Alvaro's gallery. Again, from Morgoth, Sauron, the Nazgul. And I suppose what's really nice is that you can imagine that previous image as the next one in the Fourth Age as things kind of descend. And in some ways, magic disappears more and it becomes more and more about men and their, I suppose,
governance of the
inclinations.
world, basically.
Exactly.
It's lacking that sense of fairy, of magic, sense of wonderment, maybe. So
I'm lacking a sense of hope a little bit as well, which is, I think, this is something Tolkien, was big on.
A few others here.
I love that Balrog.
It's really cool, isn't it? He's got an amazing eye, this guy, and I really love these pieces. The Karkaroth is stunning as well.
It is.
Karkaroth's notoriously difficult, I think, for artists to capture as well. I think that's an awesome, awesome image.
Yeah. Well, moving from the Fourth Age and to the end of the Third Age, I thought it might be good to just have a quick look at the, I suppose, significantly more information that we now have since the last episode on this new edition. I don't know if you guys are on the newsletter that HarperCollins are doing.
Yeah.
but they've released all of the kind of detailed, I suppose, information apart from the release date and the cost, which is kind of annoying.
Yeah.
But it does start to feel like this is gonna be significantly better than the one last year. There's a lot more. There's more art. There's more art cards. There's this
Yeah.
kind of beautiful clamshell box with drawers, and just more Alan Lee work. So, what's not to like?
It's like they took what they did last year and they're like, we could do this a little bit better.
Yeah,
Uh, I will admit, I probably still won't get this because I do have the one from last year. And I
yeah,
think I do personally prefer the sprayed edges with the design of the ring in the Anduin. But this is pretty nice. That clamshell is really great. And the drawers, that's such a fun little
yeah.
touch.
It's a really beautiful thing. It's definitely not a
Sure.
reading copy from what I can tell. It's more of a exhibit piece, but
Yeah.
it does feel like a really special edition. So well done to HarperCollins for finally
Yeah.
doing it. But I do wonder, will there be an ultimate clamshell Hobbit next year as well after they're releasing a deluxe this year?
Mhm.
Maybe.
Or maybe they'll do all of them together in one
Yeah.
giant clamshell. Uh,
Yes.
Goodness
Yeah.
gracious.
I mean, the thing that would tempt me would be the new art, but eventually, the art always seems to be done again in another edition down the line.
Yeah.
So I'm with Adam on this one. It's not enough to tempt me, especially
Yeah.
after just getting the other one as well. So
Yeah.
yeah, I'll probably leave it, but I think it will sell quite quickly. This
It
one,
will sell.
yeah,
It's Lord of
You
the Rings.
exactly, and you could see it's their kind of big Christmas,
yeah.
cash in the bank sort of
I do
release.
like the new picture of the is it the forging of the ring, and they said there's a new picture of the white tree or something like that as well. Are those the only new art pieces, or is there going to be even
So
more inside?
the Crack of Doom, it looks like it's either Sauron or I think it might be Frodo. I don't know. But that image is actually within the box.
Mm.
If you look inside the box of the previous year,
Yeah, it is, isn't
art
it?
is there.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
So
and I
I
think that's the white tree that they mentioned.
Ah, okay.
yeah.
I mean,
Okay.
it is essentially repackaging, really.
It's
But
Yeah,
it
just a
is,
it's just a
yeah,
Lothlorien image then, really,
yeah,
pretty
yeah,
much.
which is nice. So,
And if we're wrong, fully
yeah.
willing to be wrong. If they include something new, that'd be cool.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, moving down the years, another new release that I've actually just received my dispatch notification, but the Hobbit graphic novel, and that has just been released a couple of weeks ago. I've never read it. I don't know if you guys have. Sam, I think you mentioned you had,
This
but
was my introduction into Tolkien's
Oh,
world.
cool.
So I'll definitely be picking it up because I think the old paperback version that I think is still my parents is just battered now because I
Mhm.
just would carry it around with me when I was like 5 years old. And that kind of led me to my dad reading me The Hobbit and so on. And it's really really nice. I love the images inside, and it's one of the reasons I was so disappointed with the end of like the third Hobbit movies, when that big moment, Bjorn getting his big moment, never happened because I
Mm.
always remembered that from this comic, just the image of him crushing the Goblin King, and I just wanted to see that on screen, and it never happened.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, it's definitely worth adding, I think, if people want it.
It is one of those really, I suppose, things that I've never understood, and even in the extended version of The Hobbit,
Mm.
why did they not do more Beorn? Like
Yeah,
that,
yeah,
there's only split second of a scene with him in the last movie, and in a 2-hour battle, it just felt like a lost opportunity, but
Agreed. Yeah.
maybe one of many questionable decisions there. One thing I would note, and we're just coming up to it now, but well, one thing, David Wenzel, the illustrator, did a talk at this year's Oxenmoot for the Tolkien Society. And I have to say, there's something about the kind of Tolkien illustrators, but they all seem to be absolutely lovely people. And David was just so generous with showing so much of his studio and kind of the original paintings and the drawings. So he just seemed to be a lovely, lovely guy. And just, loving the opportunity to have this kind of expanded version. And we'll see later on at the end, there seems to be some, as well as the additional pages, there's also kind of additional art at the back.
Oh, nice.
But one thing that I would note is, and this is from the Tolkien Collector's Guide, these 2 pages appear to be missing in the first printing. And the guys at the Tolkien Collector's Guide have contacted HarperCollins, and it seems like it was just an omission, and likely the second printing will have them whenever that comes. But just be warned, the first printing of this will be missing this spread. It just seems like, or sounds like, they missed it.
It's good to know.
Gotcha. Hopefully they can compensate buyers who bought the first printing.
I would hope so. I mean, I guess one question is how many people would know if they have not compared it.
Right.
I probably would not have spotted it because I don't have any previous ones.
Right.
But I certainly will be contacting them about it and see what they can do. This is a page, I think, at the end with sort of the pencil work in the just one of the characters painted. It's just beautiful.
It's beautiful.
Staying on the Hobbit theme then, this is another hot off the press news about Middle-earth Enterprises partnering with Dark Horse and bringing vinyl miniature figures based on the Rankin Bass Hobbit. These are, I suppose, images from the San Diego Comic-Con. Again, the source is the One Ring this time. But what do you guys think about these ones?
It's a cool option. For fans of the animated films, like, I think this is great because they deserve to have some collectibles too, I think. They look good. They don't look like they'd be terribly expensive. Yeah, I think it's a great idea. I know for me personally, I never really cared for the Rankin Bass, Hobbit, Lord of the Rings, the animated films. I've tried to watch them. I can't, but I get there's a lot of fondness for those films, and a lot of people have really wonderful nostalgic memories, and it's not really my cup of tea, but I really love that they're doing it.
Yeah, it's gonna be quite niche, I think, isn't it, for certain collectors? But yeah, I think it's a nice idea. I mean, that Gollum, I just can't. I just can't. But it's I know there's a lot of people that love the original Rankin Bass and don't like the modern adaptations.
Yeah.
So it's nice that they've done something for them.
Yeah,
they're just as big a Tolkien fans as the rest of us. So
exactly, and it sounds like this is going to be a whole line. So we'll just see what else comes up from them. But
I'm sure they'll do Gandalf.
Yeah, they must. Yeah, with those massive eyebrows. Moving on to the, I suppose, next book being published for the first time in this kind of format. the Bovadium fragments, which is a satire. I've not read it. I've not read any previous publications where it may have appeared, but it sounds fun and it sounds really interesting. I don't know if you guys know anything about it.
I didn't know. Go ahead, Sam. You go ahead.
Sorry, man.
It's all good.
I was gonna say, you know, it's I think for people interested in Tolkien's kind of thought processes and things that inspired him, it's probably going to be an interesting read. And it's certainly, you know, his hatred for the kind of you call it the infernal combustion engine is well known. So I'm interested. I haven't read anything of it, and so I'm interested to see exactly what it's about. And obviously it's probably about, you know, the destructive nature of machinery, and you know. Yeah,
kind of the atmosphere in Oxford at the time.
Yeah, and from the little there is online on the HarperCollins website, it sounds to be quite fun, and it is illustrated by Tolkien as well, so it will be interesting to see this kind of side of him. I think this was written after Mr. Bliss, with the car being at the forefront of the narrative, I suppose.
Yeah. I think I'm really excited to read the essay by Richard. So I'm excited to read Tolkien's stuff. I've never read it. I'd love to read some of his satire, but I'm really excited to read that essay by Richard. I'm not sure if that was published before, but I'm excited.
I think it's brand new. I think it is specifically for this edition. So yes, very much looking forward to that as well.
I hope they do a slipcase version as well. But that would be nice.
I'm here for it.
Yeah.
Take my money.
Yeah.
Excellent. And I think this is the last book that we've got today, but it's just something that has come to my attention recently, and I've received it a couple of weeks ago. It's a new collection of sketchbooks or sketches from a variety of artists, and of course one of them is none other than John Howe, among many other amazing names. Dave McKean, Tony DiTerlizzi, all of these. I mean, all of them are great, but you know, can't name all of them. But I suppose if we maybe just focus on John Howe for a bit. I don't know if you guys have seen this, but it's a stunning coffee book, kind of coffee table sized book, and it's really gorgeous.
Always loved
I've
John
never
Howe.
seen this before. It looks great. All of these art books that I'm stumbling across over the last few months, I want to buy them all.
Yeah.
I just don't have enough room on my coffee table to kind of cover it all, but I love this. And there are a few like artists' names that I am kind of familiar with. I know John Howe, of course, but
yeah.
And then you look at some of the illustrations on the cover and it's like, oh my gosh, is that who? I wonder if they did this or that or the other thing. So it's kind of like piquing my interest and kind of memory of, you know, illustrations from movies or books. I kind of want to check this out and buy it myself. So this looks great.
I was going to say, because Julian, you do some drawings yourself, don't you, as well?
Yes, yeah.
Is John Howe the biggest influence on your work?
It would be John and Alan. They would be the two biggest. Particularly their pencil work. I mean, I love their watercolors, of course, but to me, because I tend to do pencil work as well, this is what speaks to me the most. I mean, this whole book is filled with treasures, so it is so good to I suppose be able to dip into all these great artists, you know, engine rooms, so to speak, and just see these things that, you know, have not really appeared anywhere else. I'll maybe just briefly highlight these two. On the left, on the bottom right. Have you guys read The Last Unicorn by Peter Beagle?
I haven't.
It's always one it's been on my list to read. I just want a nice edition. I missed.
The
Is it the what's I can't remember the
Suntop.
book. Suntap edition looks amazing, but I missed the boat on that one.
So it sounds like John was going to illustrate one, but it fell through just from the captions. But the one on the image on the left and the bottom right are from the sequel to The Last Unicorn called Two Hearts. And I really hope this happens one day because it's such a beautiful book. And yeah, there's the Last Unicorn herself and the ends on the left-hand side. And very interestingly, Peter Beagle was he's the author of The Last Unicorn, but he also wrote the screenplay for the Ralph Bakshi Lord of the Rings.
Ah, nice.
And Christopher Lee, also massive fan of The Last Unicorn. He voiced the King Haggard in the animated film, which I would also highly, highly recommend if you haven't watched.
Gotcha. You've already influenced me to do so many things, Julian. I don't know if I can do much more. No, there's always room for more.
There's always room for more, and this
Yeah.
one you will not regret. I think you will love it.
Thank you. Yes.
So speaking from hand drawings, moving on to art cards, and I suppose this is the now third of the art cards released by Weta. Adam, I think you've got all of them on order or in
Sam
hand.
is on the way.
Brilliant.
I'm still waiting. I know there was some issues with shipping for a bit, but he should be on the way here pretty soon. I'm expecting early next week or this week now. But yeah, I've got the first two, Aragorn and Galadriel, and I love Iona Brinch's style here. That Art Nouveau style is really working for me on these character cards.
And have you decided what you're going to do with them? How are you going to display them?
I'm going to make a book. I decided on that. I'm going to get like an art book and put these in there. I don't know the details necessarily, but I'd like it to be like a leather bound kind of book and see how I hope they keep going with this. I'm sure they will. I have a feeling they will. There was a lot of confusion, I think, within the collecting community about like Weta's description of what these cards were. Um, the reference to the rings of power, the 1379, that's the edition size for every card. 1379, one ring 379, you get the gist. So that's what that means. There was a lot of confusion, I think, when this was first announced about what that kind of is. There's also confusion about what characters they're doing. What I'm gathering from what they've said, they're going to try and do as many as they possibly can. There's no particular order to how they're doing it. They're focusing on good guys right now, but there's no saying that they're not going to do a bad guy. I'm sure they will do Sauron or Saruman, maybe a couple, the Witch King, I'm sure. But it seems like this is something they want to keep doing. I hope so because I love what Iona is doing. And I don't know if you guys have any thoughts about it, but I'm a sucker for collectible cards.
Yeah, these they're going to be a problem for me. the more they
only
keep
like $20.
Yeah, so. I know, but when they release, like, if they keep adding to it, I'm like, oh god, that's going to be like too much. But yeah. Each one that they've released so far, I've been more and more tempted. I almost need one to sell out, so then I'm like, don't need to do this. But yeah, I love the because I know we spoke about the other two a bit last time, but I love this one of Sam. He it's just his all about his humble roots, and then just him holding the pan is just a hint of what's like a hint of what's to come. But yeah, I think the Aragorn Galadriel cards have a greater history and depth to them, which suits the characters, I think. But and Sam's kind of just in his humble roots and beginnings there, about to start his journey. But yeah, I love him.
I really love the rustic nature of Sam's card, and kind of the scarecrow, and I suppose that kind of scene of the, furthest from home. It is just beautiful. And the little door, it's just they are gorgeous. And I've only got the first one so far, but the next two are definitely going to be ordered very, very
I
soon.
will say, if you're going to buy these, don't do what I'm doing and do it one at a time. I got tricked with Aragorn because it was free shipping.
Yeah.
Galadriel, I had to pay for shipping, and now Sam, I paid for shipping. So I think in the future, I'm going to wait for a couple to come out, and then I'll order them to save on that shipping cost, because you think it's a great deal, and then the shipping hits you. But try to, lump them together. They don't seem to be selling super fast, which is great. So you have time. Pick them up at your leisure.
It'd be nice if they said how many were remaining on the site.
That would be nice.
I don't think there is a limit from the, I suppose, description. I guess they'll just do as many as they can. As many as Iona can, I suppose, can do, and I suppose the more the merrier. But I certainly would be tempted by bundles of these. The way they did the little art cards with Alan Lee sketches, with a kind of a pack of 10 in an envelope. I think that would be really nice as well. But
How
yes,
big are they? Sorry, out of interest. What's the size?
A5.
A5. Okay. Nice.
Another recent triptych that I just spotted has been added to the Weta website is this set by Jerry Vanderstelt. I think that was his last year's San Diego offer, those three pieces, but I just saw that they're now available through Weta as well. And once again, Jerry is, I suppose, a master of this kind of hyper-realistic style, and yet these particular ones have a bit more abstract background to them. They're not fully worked up, apart from the portraits themselves. They're really beautiful. I don't think I'll be picking these up for lack of space, and generally I just wouldn't have anywhere that they would fit within my collection. But what do you guys think of these?
I love Jerry's work. I have a few prints by him, and these look great. I was very tempted last year when they were on sale to buy them, and I just decided, you know what, I'll hold off. And they're back, and now you can buy them through Weta, which is great. Yeah, they look good. Aragorn and Arwen look fantastic. The Tree of Gondor in the middle, it's a very nice scene. But it is, like Julian said, a bit more abstract. I don't know if I also have a place in my collection necessarily for these, but they're really nice.
Yeah,
I agree. I think Jerry's awesome. Like, I love his hyper realistic style that he has going on. I wouldn't have a place for these in my collection. I don't know how much I'd want Aragorn. As much as I love him, I don't really want Aragorn and Arwen staring at me. But yeah, they're really, really stunning images.
Yep.
And then the next print that has just been released this week actually is Return to the Green Dragon by friend of the show, Gus Hunter. Gus has done so many great prints for Weta over the years, and concept art, of course. But yeah, I thought this one was really nice surprise to pair with the environment. I'm a little bit puzzled by the kind of fiery nature of the sky. At first, I thought it's the scouring of the Shire, but
Oh my god.
but it is very beautiful. I really like the inn itself and the kind of cozy nature of the light and the reflections in the river.
Blood has been spilled this night. That's what...
Yeah, apart from pints.
Yeah. I think I messaged Adam when I saw this, just saying, "Oh dear," because I'm gonna have to get this as well. I think.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Excellent.
I'm gonna have a lot of Gus on my wall.
Right. I think I might pick this up. Because I don't. We'll probably talk about it later. The Green Dragon collectible, but I don't think I'll actually buy that. But I will buy this art print because I would like some more Shire art in my collection. So I'm a fan of red skies at night. I love those beautiful. They're just so cinematic, I guess. But this looks really cool, and it's such a nice pair up if you're buying the Green Dragon environment. I mean, you can't go wrong.
And if you have the mill and bridge as well, just across,
Yeah.
it'll be a very, very beautiful display.
Mhm.
Well, speaking of the Green Dragon environment, there it is. It was long teased, and it's finally out. Sculpted by Charlotte Key. Charlotte, I think, did the Grey Havens, did the Edoras, and did the Black Gate. And this is just another beautiful Shire piece, I suppose, with help from Shanti and Sean Bolton. It's who are masters of these kind of hills and rocks and natural kind of settings. Are you guys picking this up?
Sam.
Yes.
Okay.
Oh no, it was yeah, I think I said last time I'd probably get it. It just perfectly encapsulates that moment where Gandalf kind of enters and you see it in the movie. It just, yeah, they've done a really nice job, and I like that it's going to kind of match the bag end that lights up as well. I like that they've included that feature. But even they've done, obviously the stuff they've done around the outside I love as well, because you can tell the way it's been built into the hillside. You got the missing tree stump, and I think there's like an old hay bale, and yeah, does that actually, is it going to connect up? Kind of, I suppose. Yeah,
I don't think it will, but I think you will be able to place them roughly within kind of side by side, and it will make sense, although it should be clearly the other way around with the mill kind of on the other bank of the river. But I'm not quite sure how to scale this is, but I just wondered whether whether the bridge would be the same scale.
Yeah, it's incredible. It looks. I'm looking at it right now, and I'm like, maybe I could get it. No, I'm not going to buy it. I missed out on Bag End on the Hill. I didn't buy that because I've got the small one, and I thought that was enough. And now I kind of kick myself because I didn't buy it, especially when they put it on sale. And I feel like if I didn't have that bag end, because right now it's not in the cards, I the Green Dragon would just work so perfectly with that. I just right now I can't do it. So I don't need a giant Green Dragon if I don't have the giant bag end. No, that's really silly, but that's just my logic.
that makes sense. Yeah. It's
But
the small
it looks
details,
great.
isn't it? It's the small details again that do it for
Yeah.
me. Yeah.
I love that signpost.
It is remarkable, yeah. And the flickering lights, they just make it so kind of cozy.
Yeah.
I just hope they do the party tree next, or Bilbo's
Oh,
birthday. That would be a
Oh,
cool
that would
one.
be great.
that would be
Yeah.
fun.
Yeah.
Have either of you guys played the Tales of the Shire game, or
No,
No.
I haven't either, but
I haven't
I,
played it.
I get the feeling this is kind of very much the vibe of the game as well. So
I've
it's
heard
just time.
mixed reviews on that game, I think.
Yeah.
Right, okay.
Yeah. I waited to have some kind of people I know's feedback on it. And they said it's kind of nice and relaxing, but there's kind of this, it's more like I can't remember the name of this other game. They said it was similar to another game where
It's like you're doing the same thing kind of over and over
a
again.
little bit, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I've heard similar things.
I think the last thing on the Green Dragon, and I suppose Kirithungol from last chat. I think having those early teasers is really, really helpful.
Yeah.
I really hope they continue doing them. Knowing, I think they were in February that they basically announced these are coming later this year. Um, I I I love that. It's so much more helpful to be able to plan ahead. I do love a good surprise as well, but
Yeah.
some of these things occasionally, as you know, funds and space are
Yeah.
not endless. It is good to know what is kind of what's coming ahead.
Yeah.
So I very much hope they continue doing this.
I hope
Yeah.
so too. The artistic insights too are really fun to read. Um, I agree with you. I hope they keep doing it. Planning ahead is always nice for me. I'm sure with a lot of other folks. It builds up the excitement, I think, a lot more than just we might have something, I don't know. And
Yeah,
I kind of like a more definitive tease, I guess. And I think that worked well for the Masters collection.
exactly. Yeah. It
So,
kind of, even though it wasn't the same as these two, which were
yeah.
announced straight out. We at least could start guessing what it might be.
Mhm.
But to your point about the kind of process of making these, I love these process blogs, and if they even do some more videos, I think that'd be great. Kind of, the ins and outs of making a collectible are so interesting.
Mhm.
Yeah, and they showed the stage with it. Obviously, the chap actually went to the actual site and planned it all out with the measurements and everything, which is really
Yeah.
cool. Yeah,
Yeah. That video was so good.
yeah.
They've Weather have caught me before with these videos. I keep telling myself I'm not gonna buy this, and then they release the video, and I pre-order it because it it
Oh, okay.
it just comes to life. The pictures, as good as they are, sometimes you need the video to really sell it. So yeah, I really hope they continue doing these. Speaking of teasers and advance information. This was something brand new. We've never really had this before. The collector's choice poll that was issued, I suppose, just under a month ago, 3 weeks ago, and it was open for a week. This had the 4 options for a new classic series, and yeah, the results were very interesting.
Yeah.
But before we get to them, what do you guys think of this new format or way of, I suppose, sampling opinion and getting engagement from the collector community?
I like it. It's but in many ways, does it ruin the tease that you guys were talking about as well? Like in terms of, or ruin the surprise? And also, I want, does it mean that means they will never make models of the other ones that don't win this kind of the vote? Because I mean, I personally voted for the Gothmog because I think that would be cool to see.
I did too.
Yeah. But then I'm like, oh, but I'd also quite like a gore bag, like,
Yeah,
you
yeah.
know. So
Jagrat or
yeah,
Gorbag. I think
yeah,
it's Jagrat.
yeah. So it's just it's interesting. Yeah, it's a good way of doing it. I love the engagement with the community as well. I think that's the nice part of it. Yeah, it shows that they're listening, willing to listen to people.
I know there was a lot of most collectors on like the forums. They really wanted Rosie, and I totally get it. I'm all for it. If they make Rosie in the future, do it. More hobbits, that's great, especially more female characters. I love that. And personally, like Sam, I voted for Gothmog because I really want a classic series Gothmog. I know the old Sideshow Weta piece is it holds up. Apparently, I don't have it, but I personally would rather have maybe a smaller footprint in my collection for him.
Mm.
And he's such a key character for the third movie. I personally liked the character. I think a few people might disagree, and that's okay. Um, but I think the involvement of like what do the collectors actually want to see? I think that's a great idea. And that engagement that Weta always seems to have. They're always shifting gears or evolving or trying to include the collectors in more things. I think it's fantastic. This was a lot of fun and it was very surprising. Again, I hope they all get made, but I'm a little sad Gothmog didn't get the win there.
Well, I think something that's really interesting is that I suppose if the four are different,
Yeah.
you might have completely different results.
Oh yeah.
So, Gothmog, if let's say the Ringwraith and Rosie weren't there, and you
Mhm.
had something else, a character that maybe comes third or fourth could
Yeah.
become first in a complete in the next poll.
Mhm.
So I think it's a very interesting format, and I do wonder, will they keep this for the classic series only? Could they extend it to some of their other lines? Could they be in the miniatures? Could they be in the limited kind of premiums? Could they even be in the masters one day?
Yeah.
Um, but it is a very, very different way of, I suppose, engaging the community, and I think a very positive way. Um, and I'm pleased to say I voted for the Ringwraith. No surprise there. With my obsession with the Witch King and Angmar, there was no doubt in my mind that I'd be going for him. But Rosie came second,
Mhm.
and quite a close second apparently,
Yeah.
based on what Weta have told us. So I do hope she gets made, but I'm not sure that she gets. I'm not sure she can. Um, I'm not sure she needs to be a classic series. I think a miniature would be better suited for her, personally.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I suppose this is just a couple of slides where we maybe look a little bit at this question of the hobbits and the classic series, because this is the classic series Frodo, who has
Yeah.
now been, I suppose, discontinued. He's now sold out, and this is the Twilight Witch King. So I suppose the closest comparison to what we have of the next Ringwraith, Twilight Ringwraith, and if it was Rosie. And I suppose one observation is that for a classic series, um, one of the key things for me is the display space, and having a base which is comparable to one of their biggest classic series for a single Hobbit does not make a huge amount of sense to me in terms of display, um, as well as cost. I think the cost difference between these two was only $50
$50.
maybe.
Oh,
Yeah.
really?
I don't have Frodo. Adam, I think you've got Frodo.
I have Frodo. And the price difference, yeah, it was in US dollars, 349.99 or something. And the
Yeah,
Witch King, which is a standard classic series, is 399 US dollars.
yeah,
Um, I'm in agreement with you. The Hobbit base for Frodo, I was like, this is really big for such a, it's not like they have a bunch of like, there's an environment there, but it's not really like enough to warrant a giant base for
yeah.
a Hobbit, in my opinion.
Does it emphasize their tiny size though? Even more having a bigger base.
I
That's what
guess
they're thinking.
that's a good point.
Mm,
I guess maybe it does kind of show that, but
yeah.
I,
I think it does as well, but I do think that from a practical point of view,
mm,
it is a problem
right,
that, on a shelf, um, it does take up the same amount horizontally,
yeah,
but significantly less vertically. And so the next slide is this is, I stress to say, this is not a product. This is just for discussion purposes.
Mhm.
right,
But more and more, I'm thinking that Weta should be looking at pairing the hobbits, because if you have two of them on one base,
mm,
yes, slightly bigger, but I'm sure that can be shrunk as well.
mhm,
That suddenly becomes a very different offer for a classic series of hobbits. And Merry and Pippin as a pair, Sam and Frodo as a pair,
mhm,
much, much easier to, I suppose, convince people to not only spend the same amount, but also to take up this slot within their display space
Mm,
as a for one collectible. I just think that if you have this kind of base with an individual Hobbit, it doesn't make sense
yeah.
from a display point of view. What do you guys think about this?
it's a good idea. I like it. Have you thought about writing into Weta with that idea, or have you already done it?
I haven't, but
Yeah, but yeah,
I'm sure they're aware that kind of pairing
yeah.
hobbits is something that I'm sure they've thought about it. I don't know
Mm,
why they haven't done it yet. Certainly, Sideshow Weta used to do it with Sam and Frodo, um, and Frodo and Gollum in
Yeah,
some cases, but I don't know why they haven't explored it more recently with the classic series.
I think hobbits scare them. No, but
True.
seriously, I totally agree. I'm with you, Julian, where they need to. I'm not saying that they need to do anything, but it would be great if they could pair off the hobbits. It would be better bang for your buck, even if it was like $50 more than your standard
Yeah,
um, classic series statue. I think, and I don't really know all the details about pricing and how that works, but I feel like I love the Frodo that I have. I found it worth it because I really wanted a Frodo,
yeah,
but I think it would be even more worthwhile if Frodo and Sam were together, Merry
yeah,
and Pippin were together, and that's your classic series right there.
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
It depends on the scenes you want to, depict
Mhm.
as well, doesn't it? Like I think that Frodo model is I mean, there's so many iconic scenes, but
Yeah,
the end of that first film, it's such a I love that moment
it
when
is
he's on the shore.
iconic.
Yeah, it's an
yeah,
iconic moment
yeah.
when he's making that decision.
Well, having spoken about hobbits for a while, maybe let's have a quick look at the winner, at the ring wraith. And I suppose in that scene, and as we know in Weathertop, there's five of them. We have the Witch King. So would they, which one would they choose? Is I suppose, a very interesting next step, which, as far as I can tell from their, I suppose, newsletter, they will be making another poll with four concepts for the ring wraith. and people will be able to vote for their favorite. But I wonder whether each of those concepts would be the same ring race, or would they pick a different one, and see which one works.
Yeah.
Just do them all.
I very much hope they do over time, but I do have to say, I think some of these guys, I'd be more than happy if they change for the classic
Yeah.
series.
Let's tweak some of that design work, maybe.
Yeah, I think the bottom left in particular is,
Oh,
I think he has seen better days. So
Top right's
um,
probably the best, isn't it?
I would say top right would be the next one to go for, followed by bottom right. But
yeah.
yeah, they are. I suppose they were never intended to be seen like this, and they are only, in a split second on screen. So um, I'm not one for, being incredibly specific about movie accuracy. So
Yeah.
I'd be more than happy if they just, elaborate on these designs rather than just do them.
I I think a
And
good example, like looking at the Witch King, a Twilight version,
yeah,
behind the scenes, he doesn't look nearly as mushy as what you see in the film itself.
yeah,
And then if you look at the sculptures that have been done over the years, like I have the Witch King and Frodo at Weathertop.
yeah,
They've refined the
yeah,
look. Like it's still warped and twisted, but it's not. It doesn't look comically grotesque, I suppose. Uh, there are major differences between the behind the scenes Witch King and then looking at what we saw on film and then eventually in sculpture is what I'm trying to say. So
yeah.
they've tweaked it before, and I think they could do with doing that again.
I do have the Games Workshop designs behind me, which might give us a clue in
Mhm.
terms of where they'd go.
Yeah,
Happy to grab them. I just don't know how they'd look up against the camera.
Yeah.
If
you
you
can
want,
try.
I've got a Rosie Cotton as well. If you want to grab
Oh,
that.
good.
Yeah,
Have they
yeah,
done Rosie? I didn't know.
yeah. I'll get them.
Yeah, go
You may
get
as
them.
well.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. 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 These four are very interesting. I very much hope that the top right one is the selected choice, but they do all need refinement. And
Yeah,
you can imagine that in the kind of fog and mist that is in the visual effects version, they
yeah.
work and they are, distinct. But
Hmm.
when you see them as individuals, they do need to be developed.
Yeah, once you get some studio lighting on there,
Yes, yeah, yeah,
it's a bit like, ooh, put you back in the darkness.
yeah, 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 exactly. But I'm curious to see what poses they pick for them. I
Yeah.
mean, from that scene, like in
Mhm.
some ways, what you see here with, this crown being
Yeah.
the one we're talking about, being the more interesting one in some ways.
Hmm.
This does not look the same as this.
Right.
And
All the
I'd be,
lighting and effects work and stuff has done wonders for this
yeah, yeah,
design, and I think they'll go obviously with the movie, closer to the movie look
yeah,
than the behind the scenes looks.
yeah, yeah.
See if
Very
this
interesting with
looks.
the long swords. Sam, are you sharing?
I don't know if you
Yeah.
could see that.
Let me see. I will make your screen. It's focusing on you rather than the.
Darn it.
They're very nice.
Unless I
Yeah,
can
that was
take.
really good.
I wonder if I take my camera down, whether that's going to help at all.
Oh, there we go. Yes.
There's
Oh
one.
yeah, that looks great. That's cool.
And then I'll
Let's
get
see.
the other. There's one. This next one's probably my favorite. This is just another generic, say generic ring race, but
Oh yeah.
Cool.
the crowns, they did a good job on the crowns, but
Yeah.
they only
Yeah.
did
Yeah.
3. So I had to convert the other 6 to get 9. And then they did the Witch King one. He's like drawing his
Oh, very
Morgul,
nice.
his Morgul blade.
That's so fun.
Yeah. And then Rosie Cotton. Let's see what they're doing. She's cleaning cleaning out a mug
Oh,
from
I
the
love
pub.
that.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
And they did 3 random like pots of plants as well that came with her, like a
Very cool.
bit of scenery that came with Rosie Cotton. So
Oh, that's
yeah.
really fun.
It's just little details like that that are
Lovely.
fun. Yeah.
Lovely.
But that the ring race designs are really good. So it's I mean they'll be probably similar with whatever Weta kind of go for with their designs.
Very, very exciting. I do wonder when they will actually get to this, the next poll, but yeah, I'm very excited for this. And speaking of dead things, the absolute surprise that has now managed to pull me into the miniature skull line.
Me too.
Oh, both of you.
You got me.
They did it once again.
I told
last
myself
one.
this is not happening.
We were all like, nah, skulls. No.
I mean, how can you not? This is
brilliant.
But this
staggeringly
one
beautiful.
just makes sense. Anyway, continue.
Yeah, no, completely. I think this is one that it deserves the kind of the scale, the detail, the treatment. I think I still stand by what we said last time about some of the others, particularly the more small kind of random orc and individual characters that I don't particularly see the value of, but the creatures, they do make sense, and Jamie is clearly a master,
Yeah.
and what he's done with this is staggering.
Is it to scale?
Not 1-to-1, but who knows what scale? I don't know what scale that this is going to be. I mean, they're not even the same scale amongst themselves.
Yeah.
But it seems to be a good size anyway, based on the photograph with the person. I do love the way that you can display it with an open mouth and a closed mouth as well.
That is really nice. Yep, this one, once they showed that off, I think someone on the forum showed it before Weta did, and I'm like, yeah, I'll buy this skull. And then I went back and I'm like, that Balrog skull is not too bad. So that's on the way.
Oh no.
Adam, I'm the same. The
Yeah.
Balrog is on the way as well.
I messaged you and I'm like, I can't.
Yeah. It was just looking at me funny, and I just thought, right, you're coming.
You guys would have kept the ring.
Absolutely, yes, yeah. No doubt about it. Yeah. It is brilliant. I'm completely sold on this one. Not on all of them, but on this one. This one, not so much.
Yeah. That one much.
But Helm of King Helm, this is now shipping. We've seen some images of in-hand photographs, and it looks great. Adam, did you order this one?
I did. I ordered it through not Weta directly. It's from an American retailer. So I'm kind of I have to wait a little longer for that, but yeah, I did order this.
It is beautiful.
It looks good.
I guess
I love the realism they kind of gave that animated design. It's so unique, even among all the different helms that we've gotten so far.
I think they had to make it very different to Theoden's helmet, didn't they, to make it stand out?
Yeah.
And it's definitely going to stand out next to the other helms they've done in the line.
Definitely.
Yeah.
And I suppose having seen the film, we know why it was kind of important to add the horns for that ending, just to be able to see the silhouette, and to have that kind of distinct silhouette, which you wouldn't have without the horns. But it is beautiful.
My only criticism would be it doesn't feel very Anglo-Saxon.
It doesn't. No, absolutely not. Yeah,
not at all.
But it doesn't matter. It doesn't change how nice it looks.
Yeah. And I suppose this
Mm,
moves us nicely into this new release, which is from Games Workshop,
yeah, yeah.
and
It's got the
the
helm.
new. It's got the helm. It's got the silhouette. Yeah,
Yeah,
and it
it's
is. They are beautiful.
They are.
yeah, they're really nice, and the models just keep getting nicer and nicer as well. They recently, about I don't know if it was about 3 years ago now, they actually released a helm hammerhand model, and they just came up with the design, and this was long before the War of the Rohirrim came out, but they had to discontinue that quickly. So that's when people started to realize, oh, is there something happening like down the line? And then War of the Rohirrim got announced, so they obviously know these things beforehand. But yeah, they're cool. I mean, whether you're a fan of the animation, the film or not, the good news for Middle Earth, like Games Workshop collectors, is they always release nice new models with it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Looking at some of these, I wish Weta would find a way to convert the animation to a statue, like a 6 scale helm hammerhand. Maybe very niche, maybe it's not super popular, but I personally really loved it. So
Yeah.
I'm with you. I'd love particularly this kind of version of him at Helm's Deep. I think that would be. I would love that. That would be an instant pre-order for me with the horn and the rugged kind of
There
armor.
he is.
And
Is that
do you
him?
have them?
Yeah. There he is.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
oh, that's great.
I haven't built him yet, but he's here. Yeah.
And as well as Helm, they seem to be releasing Theodred.
This was a real surprise. Yeah, this was a real nice surprise. Because the other Theodred they had was a very old model. It was a metal one, which was nice. But this will be done in plastic, and the details are just, yeah, they're incredible. Yeah,
And the
I
pose
wish it
is
was
so
good at
nice as
painting.
well. Yeah.
it is. Yeah, it's a real nice one.
That's nice.
He looks suitably like a prince, and I can picture him at the Battle of the Fords of Isen there in those from those
Yeah.
poses. Um,
I mean, that would be
yeah.
a 1/6 scale figure I would like to see as well.
Mm.
Though we didn't see almost any of him,
Sure.
even in the extended edition, there's only a few scenes.
Yeah,
I
Yeah.
feel like this would be a great piece.
yeah,
Speaking of figures they'll never do.
Yeah,
true.
maybe a poll would decide that. That would be a
Oh, the funeral
Yeah.
scene? Yeah.
or the funeral thing. Yes, yeah.
This fits nicely because they did a bunch of the captains from the books. Is it like Elf Wine, I think his name is, and just really obscure book characters, and they did models for all of them that are very similar to the Phaedra. So now you've almost got the complete every kind of Rohirrim captain that's named in the books. There's really nice models for them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you have these ones as well, Sam?
I haven't ordered these ones yet.
Mhm.
There's a bit of a backlog now with these,
Yeah.
but I haven't ordered these. But it's nice. It's rare. They don't usually do them in a big pack like that. Normally they release them, the horse, the foot and mounted version together. But these ones they've done in one big pack for people to get. So
Yeah.
yeah, I don't know if that's because the War of the Rohirrim figures aren't selling well or what, but but yeah, it's a nice change. It means
Oh,
you just get them in one go.
in your experience, I don't know how sort of involved you are in the Games Workshop, I suppose, forums and community, but
Mm.
was the War of the Rohirrim successful within their kind of world, or?
I think people they were worried that the models were going to look too much like the animation and not match the rest of the range. But they did a really good job of making it feel like it's still in the same world. So yeah, I think there was a decent reaction, and people just liked the fact there were new models. And they did one of the clever things they did with the big War of Rohirrim box set they released. You got 24 almost updated Rohirrim foot soldiers, because the other ones were last released in 2002. So they just did some really nice new versions of them.
That's
And
cool.
then you also got 24 Dunlending warriors in plastic, and previously there'd only been I think 4 metal versions of a Dunlending warriors. So yeah, I don't think it's been a disaster at all. But again, it's one of those. It's little bit more niche, and I think people are more excited for what they're going to do with this Hunt for Gollum. Whether they're going to release even more nice new models for that.
Very, very exciting.
Yeah.
Well, I thought we'll just end on this, which is tangential, but we talked about it at the end of last episode, and I just thought I'll give people a bit of a sense of those books by Guy Kay. And for those that don't know, Guy Kay was the assistant to Christopher Tolkien in the editing of the Silmarillion. He spent a year with Christopher in Oxfordshire, and he was very young at the time. He was still a student. But these are the books that he wrote a few years after his work with Christopher. It's his first kind of mythic trilogy, the Fionn Tapestry, and they are stunning as books. They're really good story. If you like the Silmarillion, if you like Arthurian and Celtic mythology, I couldn't recommend them highly enough. And I've said it before, but I think what Julien Delval has done with his illustrations for both Fionn and now Tigana as well is akin to what I think Alan Lee and John Howe and Ted Naismith did for Lord of the Rings. They just elevated to a whole new level, and I couldn't recommend them highly enough. They're still available on the Grim Oak Press website, and I think last time I checked Conversation Tree Press's website, I think they've got about 18 left of Tigana.
Yeah, I just looked the other day.
Yeah, and they are stunning. So if you have not been tempted yet, I would go for it.
He's good at that, tempting.
Yes. Yes.
I remember earlier this year when you were talking about Fionn, and I was looking at your post. I'm like, that sounds interesting, and I've heard of Guy Gavriel Kay, and then you mentioned, hey, did you check out Grim Oak? They have really great editions of these, and within 20 minutes, I ordered both of them.
Well, I do have to say, I had not read Guy Kay before these came out, and it was the illustrations that actually made me push the button. They just look so evocative, and I think what Julien has done is stunning. So. Don't judge by a book by its cover, but sometimes a good cover.
Sometimes it helps.
Definitely helps.
I'm getting some serious FOMO with these. At the moment, I haven't ordered yet.
They're still available.
And then Sam, you did the same thing just a few weeks ago. Bought the Grim Oak Fionn, the first two books.
Yeah.
And I didn't buy the slipcases because I was like, I don't know if I need that. It's extra. And then Sam's like, did you get the slipcases? And I'm like, no, much to my regret. And then I bought them because you can buy the slipcases separately from the books. So I did buy those, and I will never turn back. They really enhance. There's just something about Grim Oak does amazing work. Go check out their website. They do ship mostly internationally. Sometimes there'll be a book and they are limited to just selling it within the United States. But for the most part, their books are sold internationally. So
I think that's mostly to do with rights, isn't it?
it's rights with the author.
Yeah. I know the Name of the Wind they couldn't sell in Europe.
Right.
For whatever reason. But they are they're just brilliant, and they're really high quality books. You couldn't really go wrong with them.
Unfortunately.
So I think this is all we've got for today. It's been another, I suppose, month with so many news and so many new releases that I can't quite believe that, it's only a month since Comic-Con, and there's already so much more that has
Oh, yeah.
happened. I'm bracing myself for the next quarter, and some what is around the corner. But yeah, we'll see. What are you most excited for until the end of the year?
Well, gosh, I'm excited to see what they come out with. I know Weta's always coming out with something. I'd love to see what they're going to do classic series wise. I know they just had that poll, but I don't think that's going to be the next thing they tease or release. So hoping for some cool news there. Maybe an LE in the beginning of the year. That would be really fun. But I'm really just enjoying what I have now.
Mm.
And I don't feel the overwhelming urge as I did when I first started collecting to like, I must buy everything. And that's never good for anybody. So don't follow my example, be responsible. Um, so I'm excited to see what Weta does. I am excited for more art to get released and announced, and because I'm such a sucker for art. And as far as books and things go, I can't wait to see what Grim Oak does or Conversation Tree.
Mm.
Maybe more Guy Gavriel Kay. I need something new to read now. I just finished the Memory, Sorrow, and Thorn
Oh
series.
yes, yeah.
So I finally finished that, and it's well worth it. Very underrated. Go check out Tad Williams. He's been around forever, and it's a great series. It's that classic fantasy with just the introduction of that more modern style that we're all getting acquainted with now.
Mm.
Um, Go check it all out.
And George Martin has said that Tad Williams, that particular series was one of his inspirations, and you can
Oh,
definitely
really?
tell. It's
Now I'll say this: Tad Williams. George R. R. Martin said he was influenced by Tad Williams. Doesn't mean that Tad Williams is George R. R. Martin
yes,
Mm.
yeah,
in an
yeah,
older form. That's not the case. It's
yeah,
not
yeah,
like
yeah,
that at all.
yeah,
George Martin just says, I was influenced by him, and that was it.
Mm.
It's not the same kind of style. So don't go into Memory, Sorrow, and Thorn thinking it's or Song of Ice and Fire.
yeah, yeah, absolutely, yeah.
Very different.
Cool. Yeah. For me, I mean, to be honest, I'm getting to a point where I'm having to plan months and months and months ahead in advance in terms of my. But that's why I haven't pulled the trigger on the Fionavar yet, just because I'm like, oh, every kind of pound counts if I want to be able to get. If I hadn't planned well, I wouldn't have been able to get the Green Dragon, which I
Mm.
would have been devastated. But I mean, I can't wait to get to Ghana
Mm.
because that's, I think, January they're shipping that out.
I think so, yeah,
Early
January,
first
Feb time.
quarter.
Yeah,
yeah.
first quarter. So I'm looking forward to that, and that might, as long as Fionavar is still available, that might tip me over the edge because, like you said, Julian Delval's stuff is great, and I love the teasers of the artwork we've had. It just looks, Renaissance, Italian Renaissance kind of period, and
Exactly.
yeah. And apart from that, I've got, there's a little backlog of the Games Workshop stuff to get. Got a couple of, I think Edoras should be on the way relatively soon, and Kirith Ungol's ordered. So there's enough to keep me satisfied for now. I'm almost dreading to see what else gets announced. I don't want to have more kind of fear of missing out.
Well,
Yeah.
I think we were chatting briefly about this as well, Adam. I think it's kind of a moment where
Mm.
even if they don't release anything by the end of the year, I'm still perfectly happy.
Yeah.
We've had plenty so far,
Yeah.
and plenty of choice for different budgets and different collection sizes and space. So
Mm.
I think it's been a really really good kind of year so far. So
Mm.
yeah, we'll see what comes next.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and on that, I think we'll close this one out. And thanks everyone for joining us. And if you've enjoyed this, does anybody know what people could do if they've enjoyed this?
Like and subscribe.
Indeed. Thanks very much, everyone. See you at the next one.
Bye, guys.